And welcome everyone to a brand new edition of Dur or Die, the Porsche podcast that's recorded right here in the Container Park in downtown Las Vegas. My name is John Polnik. I'm the host of Porsche Road Trip and Fascination, as well as some other YouTube channels, but who the hell cares? You're here for my partner, Dwayne Wik, host of Wik's Garage. What's up, Dwayne?
Welcome to the show, JP. I'm so excited to be here. What a lovely weekend that I had. Home alone with my kids, by the way. My wife was off taking care of her parents. They're aging out, unfortunately. And so I got stuck with the kids for 2 weeks solo.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember asking you about your kids, but you're going to just tell us about them anyway, because that's kind of what people with kids do.
Tell you what, let me open up my wallet, and then after that I want to show you on my phone. I'm going to hold my phone in front of you. I know you love that.
Yeah.
And then scroll through my kid pictures.
Do that, yeah.
That's a favorite of yours, but it reminds me of all the lovely people that we have here. So they're like my children, sort of, in a weird way. We should start this one over.
We're segueing. No, we do have a studio audience. We don't ever talk about that. But tonight we have a studio audience in the Container Park in the Rami studio.
Yes,
we have Rami from the Rami studio. Chef brought us a bunch of wings.
Thank you, Chef.
You cannot smell what it smells like in here. Be glad for that. Jason Adine over there, and Mental behind the big board. Mental, you got a lower third for yourself today?
I do have a lower third myself, and I'll look at the camera and put it up there.
Boom,
and I wanted to shout out Everyone Racers as well. I checked out their YouTube content. A lot of really cool track based content, if you will, over there. So definitely check out that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And while you're subscribing to all these great YouTube channels, they should check out Wik's Garage and just just hit pause and go ahead and click like and subscribe on this one.
Definitely.
Well, we have an interesting subject. But before we get to that, I do want to mention because we have Chef in the house, and he was kind enough to bring us wings and tots.
Yes, I do.
Chef is here on behalf of Vegas Auto Fest. If you guys don't know about Vegas Auto Fest, it's coming up on the 17th of September. It's time to register your car for Vegas Auto Fest. It is like Monterey Car Week in a day. Only it's just Vegas style.
It's a beautiful golf course, huge venue, tons of like really neat like things. Like there were Vegas showgirls, there were like different vendors and stuff. I'm just going off last year.
Yeah.
But lots of curated displays too, not just like everybody parked up in a line. It was kind of like this car would look cool here. You know, going back to our last episode talking about Luft. Yeah. And it was kind of, takes inspiration from that, shall we say.
Chef, anything you want to say about Vegas Auto Fest? If you're going to do it, you got to get right up in that microphone.
No.
There it is. Okay.
Vegas Auto Fest is going to be awesome. So let me ask you guys, do you guys like having a studio audience interrupting you all the time?
It's great that they're talking over everything. And I don't know how it's going to come out in the sound, but it's
I'm just happy I have these on because before this, there was just constant chatter about JP
stuff.
and his cool hats.
It's all my cool hats.
This week, or today, I should say, I want to talk about the PCA.
All right.
Okay. First of all, are you a member of the PCA?
I am a member of the PCA, and I have been for a very long time.
What is the PCA? PCA is the Porsche Club of America, and I heard, I'm not 100% sure on this, that they're the largest car club, maybe in the world.
Yeah,
I know in America, right?
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to call this episode PCA is the HOA, okay? And I want to ask you, JP, why do you think I'm calling it that?
Well, okay, I guess that's interesting because like a HOA, it's a good, I don't know, analogy, right? Because HOA, who joins the HOA?
You don't have a choice.
You will be assimilated into the HOA.
So I get to go into and do some audio editing on this episode. Thank you very much.
I was like, Satan?
Thanks, Rami. Dropping F-bombs in the back.
But no, the HOA, for those who either grew up on the East Coast where houses have been there since the 1700s or Europe. I don't know if they have a lot of HOAs in Europe. On the West Coast of America, we have a lot of new housing sprung up, and there's a migration from the East Coast to the West Coast. Long story short, we have HOAs, Homeowner Association, right? And that's in place to prevent you from parking your 60-foot RV in front of my house and your boat and your broken down car and your mom and your dog and what's that song? A, B, C, D, E, F, U.
Clearly,
anyone else?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Clearly,
and your mom and your dog.
Clearly, you live in an HOA.
I'd like to just go ahead and identify myself as feeling a little attacked right now. with all the stuff that I can't park in front of my house in your neighborhood.
Mental does not live in an HOA. And for those of you who live in a condo like I do, the HOA is unavoidable.
You're like one giant HOA.
Yeah,
is
that's all
basically
it is.
you're
Yeah.
building. Like from the second you get on property, there's like a million rules, and they're all posted everywhere you look. So no, it's not that bad.
I don't
It's a nice
know.
place.
I mean, I definitely see the reason for having an HOA, but it seems like the people who want to be a part of an HOA, it's always the retired guy down the block that has nothing else to do. And he needs something social or, needs to have some power in his life. He's just like, or her.
There's always an HOA Karen in your neighborhood. And they're running around with their notepad and they're checking to see if there's a paint chip on your garage and are your palm trees, have they been trimmed and yada, yada. But
they sent me a message.
Oh, I bet they did.
They sent me a message and I was
get a muffler.
It was
like
that
the first one?
The cars and the thing and the garbage. And I just wrote back, I don't care. Stop emailing me.
Did they find you?
Forget you.
No, they didn't find you?
I never heard anything back.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, the fines will come. Actually,
it is. It's good to give people the middle finger every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I am comparing the two, contrasting and comparing the HOA with the PCA is because the PCA feels a little bureaucratic. I'm not coming down on the PCA. I'm a member. I love Panorama. You get Panorama, right? Which is the free magazine you get.
Yeah.
Do you ever crack it open? Do you read it? Or do they stack up? And do you have a shelf of panoramas that you've never looked in? They're all like pristine.
Can't remember the last time I actually looked at one. I do know that the last time I looked at, and it was a panorama.
And that is not a slight in any way to Panorama magazine, which is stellar. I mean, you open it up, it's glossy photos, it's really well written.
But have you done this yet? I mean, as a guy, we're in the same kind of age bracket. Have you opened up a magazine, looked at a photo, and done this on a print ad? Tried to like zoom it in. I mean,
yes,
like
I have.
You do on the
Yes,
phone,
I
right?
have.
I've caught
Absolutely
myself
have done
doing
that.
that. In fact, I even made a commercial. Rami starred in it, where that was the premise of the commercial. It's like you can't zoom into it. I don't. Magazines are completely different.
Close that. Grab my phone where I can actually,
Zoom
help my
into
eyes
things,
a little bit. Yeah. But PCA, and I'm trying to figure out what can PCA do for me, or. I mean, I'm not that involved. Like, I know that there's breakfasts, there's events, there's track days, there's DEs, there's all kinds of stuff, which I think is excellent. I love that. However, I don't do any of that stuff. So all I do is the magazine, and I have the little card in my wallet so I can show off. Not really.
Who's impressed by your PCA?
No one. Yeah. And what's interesting is like, they want to get your kids involved. We're talking about kids. Mm-hmm. So I have PCA membership for my 2 kids and my wife. We got this cool little package for my kids, and it has a badge and the iron-on thing and whatever. So point is, are they out of touch? Is PCA out of touch? Is there a generational gap? Is it worth your time? Is it gonna go the way of the dodo bird because it feels antiquated? It's almost like, let me compare it to like forums. I love forums because I grew up when the internet was invented, right? I love to go on there. It's archived. I remember where I was last time. Young people hate forums, right? To my knowledge. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But they're into new technologies like TikTok or Snapchat for messaging. I feel like PCA is almost like a forum of the internet age, to where maybe they won't be around that much longer.
Yeah, I think forums are even kind of high-tech forum. Look, it is the question that every zone of the PCA is asking constantly ad nauseum. There is, how do we get young people into the club? And every single time, look, I do work for the PCA. Like, and I mean,
right.
I don't work.
I thought you were involved.
I'm not
like
an employee.
Okay.
But like, I actually I do our zone's newsletter, the Desert Drive newsletter. So every month, Mikey and I publish the newsletter. And so we try, we're trying to make it somewhat interesting. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX, _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. So yeah, the PCA, these guys, they're constantly trying to figure out how to get a younger demographic involved in the PCA, and it just seems like everyone's asking the wrong questions. They're always trying to do things to bring people to the wrong place.
It should be laser tag.
It should be. That's big. The kids love that. That is really popular now, I believe. Yeah.
Next newsletter.
Yeah. That's it.
No, but
right.
I mean, there's people screaming right now at their radio. I'm old.
It's a phonograph.
That's why I'm a member of the
Did you laminate your card?
He's like, I'll
a good
check
idea,
the Dewey
though.
Decimal System. Hold on.
There's people screaming at their screen right now saying, "You drive a Porsche. That's a car that you can only afford when you're 50, mostly, right? 40 to and on." Okay.
I don't think it has any.
Therefore,
okay.
the PCA is composed of the people that can afford Porsches. I actually have an argument against that, but I want to hear yours.
No, look, the problem is that the PCA is constantly trying to do things that brings people to the PCA rather than bring the PCA to where people are, specifically young people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a problem getting young people to go to shows like Luftacult? Like when you go to Luftacult, there's tons of young people there, right? Mm-hmm. When you go to what's that? Radwood. There's tons of Porsches at Radwood, and tons of young people. That's a very good example. If you go to Newcomb's Ranch up in LA, tons of Porsches up there. You know what I've never seen up there is anyone representing PCA. Correct. There's been PCA members there, but you never see anyone up there going, "Hey, everybody, here's some free donuts or something." Whatever. They're not involved. Porsche. What's that? Yeah, I mean, Porsche as a factory said, "Hey, Luftacult's pretty cool. Let's get behind that," and they freaking bought the whole darn show. PCA,
they actually bought it. Like they bought.
I mean, they basically have the rights to it. They're funding the whole darn thing. That's a whole other episode. But the local chapter, they came to us and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this thing. We got this bar and they've got a big parking lot and we can all park our cars down there." And it's like they're trying to drag people. Look, it's like you guys don't have the reach. You need to. I'm like, there's a million car shows going on in Las Vegas every freaking weekend, and I've never seen anyone from the PCA at any of those events trying to recruit people or include anyone. It just, that's the problem.
That's fine. So that's a recruitment error. Once you get in, which we're in, and I don't know if it appeals to me or if it's worth it. Or
there's a lot of different reasons to be part of the PCA. One, so there's the social aspect, there's the track aspect of it, and then there's are there any benefits? I guess. Have you ever been to?
The big one is the DE, right? That would be like the reason why.
DE is really cool. That is actually one of the best things. That
driver's
Porsche
education.
Clubs, You can go out there. You don't have to have a Porsche. You can go to a track in your area. It's subsidized by the club, so the price is very low. It's a couple $100 for the weekend, and you get an instructor in the car who will teach you how to not kill yourself and actually drive your car, even if it's not a Porsche.
Mental, you're a on-track instructor.
Absolutely, I'm on the National Register.
But
Very
you
cool.
go to Car Week fairly often, or have you ever been to Car Week? No, you.
In Monterey?
Yeah.
No, I have never been.
You've never been to,
No.
but you've gone to Ren Sport Reunion. They do
have
on
not.
Car Week. You've got Historics Weekend. They do the races all week or whatever. And PCA always has a big, huge tent with drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're a PCA member, it's kind of nice. If you've ever been to Laguna Seca, it's just like
That's one of those
flat.
like
It's just in the heat. There's no place to get away from anything. So it's kind of nice to.
that's one of those little unseen benefits.
Yeah, and then there's the social side of it. That's the part that really is repellent. I think is that they do these events and it's all geriatric. It's all these retired people that don't have anything to do. So they're like, oh honey, let's go get our Porsche and then we can go and have breakfast or go to a winery or something like that. And they'll do a drive, and the drive is more about the winery than it is the drive. And I think that any young people that are into driving, they don't want to hang out with their parents or their grandparents, or at least they would if the parents and the grandparents weren't the vast majority of the people that showed up to those things.
It is overwhelmingly 65 plus.
Yeah. And then at those events, they always have waivers you got to sign. It's all kinds of just extra stuff that
That's
young
my
people don't
HOA
want to
thing.
deal with.
It's like feels bureaucratic and feels mental has something for us.
I was going to ask JP, and if I'm jumping the gun on this one, you gave a recruitment speech to our local chapter of the PCA, which is clearly divided into two camps at this point. And it's there's the track junkies like us, and then there's as you guys lovingly refer to them, the pleated shorts crowd.
Yes.
And you went to the pleated shorts crowd and said, why are you not letting young people drive your car?
Yeah, let's talk about that right after this. Okay, quick break.
All right. We're at 17 minutes, and this would technically be our second break.
That's fine.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to put a commercial in that first break because that was more of just a hard edit because it was going off the rails. So, okay, so you ready to come back?
Yeah.
In 3, 2. Oh, hold up. Shit. Something screwed up. No, I'm ready. All right. 3, 2.
And welcome back to the worst episode of Do or Die ever.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
If I might add something.
Lay it on us, Rami.
Rami, are you a member of the PCA?
But why? Why?
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You get right in that microphone, buddy.
I'll tell you why. Perfect example. I go to Cars and Cafe, and do you remember that run you took up to up north, the run you took up to
Overton?
St. George?
Oh.
Right? With Solomon and all those guys?
Yeah. JP wasn't on that run. I was.
Okay. And you told me like they went on the run and it was like geriatric and
I got reported.
You got reported, of course, but the run was terrible.
You got black flagged.
Well, actually,
Jason
hold
got
on.
black flagged
Hold
on a
I
public
think
highway.
I think you're thinking of a different one. That was it wasn't even PCA. That was our group. Yeah.
All right. So this guy comes up to me. He's an older guy, and he was like, "Wow, I went on that run and the JP and everybody. It was really intense, and like we were driving really hard." I was like, oh. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking JP was like, "I was falling asleep."
That's not fair, though. You have like the adrenaline rush of a fighter pilot, or you have the adrenaline needs of like a fighter pilot. So your basis for
But my point is, that's what PCA is missing.
is that kind of excitement or kind of okay.
Yes,
I got you.
They have no excitement. It's like I hear those guys talking. I'm like, I don't want to be part of this.
Well, I mean I totally agree with what Rami's saying in terms of like what sounds fun and what doesn't. What doesn't sound fun is like a line of 50 cars and me somewhere at the back, just like waiting or going somewhere to the winery. I guess I don't know.
The social drives when someone sets up the local chair of the drive chair is our friend Solomon. Everybody knows. Everybody loves
which
Solomon.
I absolutely love Solomon,
Yeah.
and he has done so much to promote the
I don't
PCA
think
in
there
a positive
would be a
way.
local PCA if it weren't for Solomon.
Oh,
He
he's
has
been
kept
awesome.
It together.
He is.
It would have
Yeah.
collapsed a long time ago.
What makes the professor run amazing?
So when enthusiasts show up for a drive, and I did a rant. So, I mentioned that I do the newsletter for the local PCA, and I always do a rant, video rant at the end of the newsletter. And one rant that I said was basically, if you're wondering who the slow guy in the group is, it's you, right? The thing about PCA events is that you've got some guy in whatever car, whether it's a GT3 or a Macan
It is a
or
brand
whatever.
new
It's
GT2
usually a
RS.
brand new
He's the
something.
last guy.
One of the
Rami.
worst PCA runs in recent memory is when we went down to Topak, which is one of the most amazing roads here. It's in northern Arizona. It's about 100 miles away from Vegas.
Topak Shakur.
Yeah, and Jason here was in front of me, and we had gone. We basically kind of went on our own run to try to avoid everyone, and unfortunately, we stopped for some pictures, and they caught up. It was like, oh crap! So we go running out to get back in the car, and this particular road, if you've ever been over the Opening Pass in,
There's no passing zones for
it
like the
is-
whole
yeah,
windies.
it's locked 30 miles up the pass, and
You should have just cooked up some heroin right there.
right,
Like,
just waiting for everybody to go. Lots more meth than anything. I don't think anyone can afford.
I know there's a
meth.
dentures. That makes sense now.
But there was a purple GT3 RS, and this guy was hauling butt in the straightaways. But then as soon as the corners came up, Jason was in his GT3, or I'm sorry, his GTS, and he got behind the guy, and Jason clearly wanted to get by. He's right on the guy's butt in the corners.
He didn't do the Captain Morgan thing.
Right?
Oops, sorry.
There was a moment where Jason could get around.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
And he sped up.
So Jason went out on the left, and the guy sped up.
That's what you got black flagged for later?
No, this is
Oh.
a different run. This guy literally tried to-
Well, there's no black flag. It's a run.
No,
It's not
I
on
know.
the, yeah.
I'm kidding.
So the guy speeds up, which is the absolute worst thing you could do.
Right.
But Jason winds up getting.
Chef is doing the Captain
Chef's
Morgan for us.
Morgan thing. Jason gets around him, and then of course just leaves the guy. And then I catch up with him. I'm stuck behind him. I can't get around him. We get to the top of the pass where you have to go through town, and just out of town, we're talking super slow area because there's people around. But it's and burros, yeah, lots of donkeys, jackasses, and guys and jackasses. But anyways, so I go around the guy like at 30 miles an hour. I didn't blow by him. It was in a slow area, super clear. I just putz around the guy, and he double birds me.
Really? The double bird.
Double bird, right? I'm like,
Ooh.
okay. And I was just in a base 997, right? A cab no less. So whatever. I go ahead, and I know the road fairly well, and I'm going through the twisters, and I know where it kind of like straightens out. And I'm not
You
really
see this dot in your rearview mirror.
well, the thing is, I just knew he was like his car is way faster than mine in a straight line. He had clearly enjoyed straight lines. I don't really care going in a straight line.
He
That
previously
just does
owned a
nothing for
Mopar.
me.
So
Right. So I'm sitting there, and I just slow down, and I move over, and I see him coming, and I'm like, whatever, I don't care, whatever. So he goes blowing by me, but he blew by me in our lane. Like he barely missed my mirror, and
Wow.
he birded me as he went by.
but then you guys are all going to show up.
We're all going to the same place.
Yeah, you're going to...
Let me guess,
Yeah.
you put a dot one hand on the
It was a dot one. It
It
looked
was
like
a dot
your
one,
car,
right?
yeah.
It's like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Guys who buy dot ones are like, look, I can get a GT3 RS, but it's cheap.
Hey, now, I would love
He's the guy
any
who gave you the
GT3,
fake.
I'm
okay?
pretty okay with a dot one. I'm right
But I
there.
wouldn't... You're right, I
wish
wouldn't
that-
not.
I wish I considered that a cheap car. So, of course, and now I'm pissed. I'm like, okay. We get to the event. We get to the parking lot. Jason's there. He's shaking his head. I get out of the car, roll in, and I'm so red. I'm just so mad. I just go walking up to the guy. I'm like, hey, what was he had a number on his shirt? It was like
number 13.
13. Hey, 15. You're an asshole. I'm just like yelling at the guy. Everyone's looking around going, what? I like completely lose my shit. I just go off on the guy. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? This is not a race. He's like, yeah, it's not a race. I'm like, then why did you speed up when someone tried to pass you? You know, I was so mad. And his wife is just like, "Oh." Never seen him in another PCA event again.
Yeah.
I lost it.
Somewhere
I
he's
acted poorly,
Turned into
but
your
he
dad
deserved
for
it.
like 15 seconds.
God, I'm
I
so
was
mad.
there, obviously, and to your
Yeah,
defense,
Jason, in the microphone. Hold on, come over here in the
Get
microphone.
over
Jason,
on
what
the mic,
actually
Jack.
happened?
We have the real account.
Is my account of the situation real
So-
or what happened?
So
Thank you, everyone,
I
for
was
coming
there
out.
and,
Tip your
you know,
waitress.
Squat
in
down,
all-
squat
in
down.
all honesty,
sit on.
I
sit
think
on
Chef's
Chef's
lap.
I think the reaction was appropriate.
What do you want for
it's a
Christmas?
little heated, but nonetheless, I mean, he definitely had it coming in. And yeah, you're right. He hasn't been on the drive since. And, it's good.
He's ranting about the PCA, but for completely different reasons.
Well, but as a member of the local PCA here in Las Vegas, I want to thank you, JP, because now that guy doesn't show up at a track day.
Yeah.
I don't have to get in his right seat.
You save future issues from.
Well, in all kidding aside, and I did lose my cool, and I think I could have reacted better. But look, we were driving maybe too fast, but at the same time, he could have killed somebody.
Is there such a thing?
Well, I mean,
Is there such a
that's another conversation, right? He could have. He in a situation like that, he made things so much worse.
He's the guy that actually needs the DE, not
Yes.
the run.
Yes.
Like he needs to go do all the DEs.
Yeah.
I would love to do them, but
Yeah.
right now it's not in the cards.
Unfortunately,
Due
it
to the
seems like
hemorrhoids.
guys like him are the ones that tend to come. Now, at the same time, like you said, I'm sure there's a lot of PCA members that are like, that JP guy is why I'm not a member. But okay,
You're always so down on yourself,
I
man.
know, I'm such an a-hole though.
You're A-okay, okay?
A-okay. I'm an A-okay hole.
I don't care what everyone else says about you.
Mental
You're
was
right in
saying
my
this
book.
before the break, though. What I've been trying to tell every time I get a chance to speak in front of a PCA group,
Mhm.
I always get up there and I'm like, I don't care. Your car is not that special. Let the kid drive your car. If there's a kid that's been looking at your car that's oogling, if the kid has a license, go with them. Take the car for a ride and let him drive.
The best part is I was at Luft, was the last one, 7 in
Mhm.
Indy. We went. There was a pop up. I checked it out. Checked
Those
it out,
guys are
Chicago.
great.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of kids gathering around. They just wandered in off the street, and I was like, "You guys want to get in the car?" And they're like, "Sure." They jump around. They get in there, and it's not my car. And then the owner comes over, and it was kind of like he was cool about it.
Yeah.
And actually, it was Jake from Overcrest.
Overcrest. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I totally volunteered his car for a bunch of random kids to jump around in.
Good. Jake deserves it.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from
Yep.
State Farm. All right, guys. Well, what do you think of the PCA? Is it the dodo bird? Is it dead on arrival? How much longer are people going to continue to be members? Is it worth it to you? Are we missing something? Is it really an awesome group?
And
I
how
mean-
often do you spend $50 to try to win that new whatever Porsche that they
always
give
a
away?
car away every year.
It's the duck-billed platypus of all cars.
Aren't all cars pretty much on the way out? Which will
True.
end first,
Yeah.
the PCA or cars? Remains to be
I'm
seen. What do you guys
going to
think?
say cars.
Cars, probably, yeah. All right, guys, hit the subscribe, like, and notification button so you can find out when the next Dur or Die episode is fresh. We usually publish them 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mhm.
So stick around, come back. I don't know, watch an old episode. Let us know what you guys think. Tell
Join
us
the
about
PCA.
something you want. Yeah, join the PCA or not. And let us know what you think. Is there something you guys want us to talk about? What kind of Porsche stuff is going on out there? We want to hear from you in the comments. We will see you guys on the next episode of Dur or Die. Thanks, Mental. Thanks, all the people.
Yes,
Thanks,
yes.
Dwayne.
Thank you. Yep.
What does PCA stand for again?
Let's hear it.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were going to come up with something funny.
I